All right, sports fans, welcome to Sports Night with Jorge. Once again, thank you so much for joining in. Uh, I've been out for a while, but I'm back. We're talking Dolphin football. We're talking what we expect for the 2026 Miami Dolphins. Hopefully, you guys can hear me and see me good as I do this video for you guys today, especially Dolphin fans. The Dolphins will be out for a while, guys, after they come back for OTAs starting tomorrow. I think they'll do a OTA for 2 days and they skip one day and then we'll be back on Thursday. So let me look at the OTAs here schedule. So here it is, Dolphins OTA schedule June 8th through 9th and then June 11th. No more football for a month. Yes, guys. And by the way, mini camp is over. It was over already, so I can't wait what's going to happen to the Miami Dolphins coming up after this month's over, what they're going to do. I expect to see some changes coming up, some good things happening to this team. So if you haven't joined the channel or you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. We are going to talk Dolphin football today. Here's the trade that happened. I know you guys heard about it already. These trades that happened. Sincerely, you guys, I think the biggest trade was the Rams getting Myles Garrett. You know, so that's one thing I do see. I mean, that is probably one of the biggest trade. Then you got Odell Beckham going back to the Giants for 1 year. And then, of course, A.J. Brown from the Eagles to the New England Patriots. I don't think it's going to make a difference. They are talking about making a difference. I don't think they are. Yeah, I think we're going to have a good team, Vale. These are the Dolphins' injuries that I want to bring up, which they're all not major. They're all working on it. Jameer Slayer, guard, was carted off on June 3rd. Came back. He's being evaluated, and so far, good news. It's a week-to-week thing that's going to help the Dolphins. Then you have Caleb Douglas, wide receiver, rookie, tweaked something during practice. His injury is minor. That was a CBS Sports came up with. He should be back next week. The biggest one is Devon Achane, running back, is still resting on his shoulder after having a minor clear-up procedure. He's only do individual workout, which is, I like that. This is what I like about Jeff Hafley. He has these guys working with different trainers, different guys to build them back up for the start of the season. And, of course, Austin Jackson, once again, recovering from offseason surgery on a nagging foot-toe issue. He's only participating. That was brought up by Dudley Duron. I saw this channel. He should be okay. And then the defensive update, Zach Sealer, defensive tackle, also working out with a trainer with an injury. So, listen, it's not a big deal. They're working out with them. It's going to take a while, little by little. Hopefully, they can develop these young guys ready for the 2026 season. So, hopefully, I'm excited, man. Yes, he still has that toe injury, and according to Jeff Hafley, man, it sounds that he's doing the right thing. I remember when McDaniel was here, he was putting the players, in the IR, injury reserve, or unable to perform list. With Jeff, what he's doing is he has a particular trainer for each individual that has an injury and try to work to that individual. Hey, how you doing, Grizzly? Welcome in. Yes, I mean, what can I say, man? I think these coaching staff that they got in Miami right now, with all the new head there are in there right now, the new head coaches and the GM and the new coach. It's a different. You can see it's a different atmosphere, man. It's a different thing, which is a good thing for the Dolphins. I mean, if you're a Dolphin fan, I remember when we started with so many injuries in the beginning of the season. Some of these players were hold out. They wouldn't play. They were out. And now we can't say that. Now we got players injured, but it's not as a major injury unless Jeff goes to the podium and starts saying that they're really in bad shape. And right now, so far, he's saying that they're working with trainers. And that's a good thing to know. They are working with trainers. So that's my update with the Miami Dolphins. I mean, I haven't been live for a while, but I'm back live. So one thing good, let's talk about after minicamp just finished. Malik Willis finished strong, according to the coach, Jeff Hafley. I mean, he finished strong, so does Quinn Ewers. Defense played pretty well. There are trade rumors once again. Now we have other rumors of trades, and I'm not going to say it because, listen, I got to see it to believe it, man. I mean, it's just, you got Brooks trade, and then now you got Rasheed Douglas probably getting trade. You hear so many things. You just can't believe nothing anymore. I know Miami has cap money. They did sign and finally got all their 13 rookies signed, which is a good thing. They still got money left in the cap space. That's one thing I didn't check today, but I could look at it. They have plenty of cap space money to get a free agent player or to save the money for next season, which they're going to have plenty of money next season. So I guess Jeff and Solly would figure that one out for the rest of the season. So, but listen, looking back at the Dolphins, guys, I believe this team is going to be very competitive. I believe they're going to win games. I know that we're saying that we are rebuilding in 1 year. It's going to take a year to rebuild. Don't know if that's going to happen or not. I believe they could start pretty fast. It's how good they are, right? So remember, Willis and so does Quinn Ewers has to get used to this lineup, okay, to these players. Basically, everybody's new here. So they need to, get together, play together, get the scheme together. And I think Jeff will have them ready to play for the 2026 season. So, but listen, if you have any comments, you want to go live and you want to join in, you have anything to say about the Miami Dolphins, I see something good about this team. I know they're complaining about their defense. We don't have a good defense. We can't stop the run. Listen, the season hasn't started. We can't say that. I have to wait when they put pads, when they face the Giants on practice in camp, and then they'll play, I think it's the Commanders in camp. And let's see what happens with pads on. Remember, these players are not playing with pads. They're playing with each other. They play 11 versus 11 and 7 on 7. But listen, when it gets to pads, that's where the real stuff comes in, right? So we just cannot assume that, hey, right now, all you hear is good things. The injury, if you talk about last year's injury to this team, comparing now what they have gone through, you got to be impressed, guys, because I think they've done very well, especially Jeff Hafley, how to handle injuries by each individual players. Injuries are going to happen across the board because that's what's going to happen. That is football, right? It's tackle football. So let me see if I can go in here and look at the cap of the Dolphins. And by the way, not changing the subject, the Orioles lost today to the Blue Jays. They're up 4-0, and they lost 6-4, but they're still there. They only 8 games out. Tampa Bay lost a tough one, too, against the Marlins. So, but it's a good race. But this is just football channel right now. Talking about football. But if you want to talk about baseball, whatever you want to talk, I'm fine with it. So, But I'm happy to say that the team is doing well. Don't know why my frames is now freezing. I have no idea. If you guys can see me fine, that's okay. But on my side, I can see it breaking up. I don't know what it is. This always happened, guys. I don't know. I just have no idea. But anyhow, let's get back to the Dolphins. The expectation of this team for 2026. Okay, so the expectation is to really compete in every single game. Listen, they worked on 2-minute drills in practice. Both quarterbacks did great in practice. That's something that we had a lack of last year. Even though we were down big, the 2-minute drill, we never executed it the way we should execute it. So that's one thing to see. Now that we're getting hype because of Malik Willis, I'm gonna say something, guys. Let's give these two quarterbacks plenty of time to play football, to expand themselves, their careers. Okay, you can't judge a quarterback for 3 games, 4 games, 5 games, 6 games. An entire season. Sorry, give me a second. An entire season being healthy is a plus. Okay, that's one thing I would like to say. So you got to be healthy. If you play healthy, you could go far as you can. If you guys can hear me out there and tell me if my channel's looking good, all the cameras, I don't know. On my side, I'm seeing already kind of some issues, but that's okay. I'm gonna work on it during the week this week. By the way, like I say, Miami will be done OTAs next week, and they'll be done for a complete whole month. Once again, we have to remain positive, stay positive. This team has something good coming out of them. Trust me. I believe this team is going to do something in 2026. I'm going to remain positive because I believe this team could do a lot. Okay. On the defensive side, the only thing I have an issue with right now, and it's not an issue if you want to say this, it's more is, can they get a good pass rusher? Can they stop the run? The key thing for the Miami Dolphins in 2026 is running the ball. You run the ball, you execute, you eat the clock. And trust me, you're going to have a great season. Okay, why? Just running the ball. You got 2 quarterbacks that are actually mobile, 2 quarterbacks with big arms, believe it or not. And I know a lot of you guys don't like Quinn Ewers. Okay, I can tell you this, Quinn Ewers is a good quarterback, guys. He's probably better than what we think, to be honest with you. Okay, because even Jeff Hafley has said, by the way, that he is looking better than Malik Willis in camp. And that tells you something right there. Be sure when you come in, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Okay, here we go. Reconnected. So I did lost you guys. So don't know why, but the channel had to reconnect. I mean, just looking at these guys on my corner in this video here, which these guys in camp really, really are strong, guys, are really, really strong. They're getting healthier. They're getting stronger. They're building this offensive line. Jonah's looking good. The new rookie is looking good. Yeah, that was one of my video highlights that I had. Yeah, those guys look good. I just hope, there's no copyright with that, but that's little videos that I shot today. Yeah, I had those coming. I'll show you again. These are the guys that I think Rodriguez, Malik Willis, Jordan Brooks. I mean, the receivers, I mean, they're looking good, guys. They're looking good. And camp is looking good right now for the Miami Dolphins. So, but this is something that I want to talk about. Don't fall asleep on the Miami Dolphins in 2026. And I'll tell you why, because people think that just because this team has a mixture of rookies and veterans and a new head coach, which is, new season, new GM, we think, before I forget, sorry, I had to forget, I'll forget this. The push tush is coming to Miami, whether you like it or not. I had to bring that up, guys, before I forget. They are going to bring the push tush to Miami. But anyhow, going back to what I was telling you, so between these mixtures of veterans and rookies, I think we're going to get better. Chop Robinson is also having a good camp. But the only thing with Chop Robinson, man, he needs to get bigger on his size. Here's what I'm worried about. If we can't stop the run, it's going to be a long season. But if you put pressure up front on the quarterback, we're going to have a good season. Everything starts up front, right? You stop the run, you put pressure on the quarterback, you have a tremendous season. But we have to do that. Okay, so we have players that could do it, yes. Jordan Brooks, you got Zach Sealer. Grant is also having a good camp. The rookie, which now his second year. And remember, Zach Sealer was training Grant. That's why Zach Sealer never had the year that he had, because it was tough for him. But you're training a rookie. So now and on the offensive side with Jonah, Brewer, okay, Patrick Paul, hopefully Slater, hopefully Austin Jackson could come back. We have a pretty solid offensive line. Okay, so, and yes, we did pick up DJ Campbell. Was it DJ Campbell? I think it was from Texas, offensive tackle. So, I mean, you got to look at the bright side. You got to look at the opposite side and of what Miami has in the past and what they have now. I mean, what they have built. Now, yeah, we could say a lot about McDaniels, okay, but I'm gonna tell you something. This is where McDaniel left, right? And now here comes Jeff, and Jeff picked up what McDaniel left behind and probably made it better. It's a matter of being wise, man. Build your offensive line. You got great running backs. Okay, now we're talking about receivers, right? So let's go to receivers because everybody think the receivers one of Miami's biggest weaknesses. Well, I don't think so. I think they have great receiver. I mean, Caleb Douglas from Texas Tech, Chris, also from let me try to get the right, be sure, from Louisville, Chris Bell from Louisville, and then Kevin Coleman from Missouri, which he's looking good in camp too, by the way. These are great receivers, man, for the Dolphins. Young, quick. That's good for Malik Willis, by the way. I've been seeing Malik Willis on camp throwing the ball on the run, and so does Quinn Ewers. And by the way, Quinn Ewers was running also with the offensive line they got up front, which, I mean, there's so many positive things to say about this camp that we couldn't say years ago when the Dolphins had a camp. This unit's playing together. And what's Jeff Hafley's message? Get physical. Up front, both sides of the ball. It's like it's like you're playing a game that you're always losing, but you need to come back and win it. And this is where I think Jeff brings in his chemistry and his his experience and on the defensive side. Of course, he's a more defensive guy than offensive guy. Then you got Bobby Slowick taking over the offensive side. So there's good things, guys and girls. There's a lot of good things for this team. But listen, I'm live today. You guys can come in, join the chat. Any comments you guys have. I can't complain, man. I think I see a lot of good things for this team. I've been saying it from day one. Unfortunately, I mean, of course, I was on Orlando. I just came back on vacation, hit the work, then came back to make this live for you guys. Hopefully, we could see a team start from scratch, start winning this game. I'm looking at their schedule too. Their 2026 schedule. And the Raiders, it's a winnable game. Yeah, you got 2 games on the road. You do have to go to the Raiders and then go to San Francisco. I know it's kind of hard. It's not that easy. Okay, but they're winnable games. Okay, then you come home and play the Chiefs. Okay, 2 out of 3 here. San Francisco and KC are a pretty strong team. Then you go to the Vikings, which we don't know if Kyler Murray will be their starting quarterback. We don't know who's going to be the Vikings quarterback. But, hey, let's be honest. They always got a great defense. So then you come home against the Bengals. It's going to be a power offense, a big power offense. I mean, Joe Burrow healthy with his receivers. These actually 5 games is actually determine the Miami Dolphins season, believe it or not. You might not see it that way, but I really do, because I believe they could do an impact right away from the beginning of the season. And who knows? But just looking at that schedule, at the first 5 games, it's going to be interesting. But who knows? Hey, hello, Carlos. How you doing, buddy? Welcome in. I mean, Miami could do so much, and then you got the Jets away, then you got New England at home. I mean, yeah, the schedule is brutal. I mean, everybody says brutal. It's a tough schedule to win. It's not that easy to win, but they could win. They could win. And then you have the Colts, which is a winnable game. Then you got Buffalo away. Maybe it's tough. Okay, you got to go to Buffalo. I mean, there's so much to prove in 2026, especially the Miami Dolphins. If you look what Grable did, I know you guys don't want to hear me say this, but what Grable did, going into to New England and picking up a quarterback that nobody had confidence in, changing that team around and taking them straight to the Super Bowl. Now, am I saying that Miami could go to the Super Bowl? I'm not saying that. Okay. I'm not, predicting that, but anything can happen. But let's go back to the schedule here. So they go back to home against the Jets. Then they go away to Denver. Then we have the Bears at home, which is a winnable game. I'm not going to tell you it's not. I mean, because all these teams have completely, look at it. And if you haven't read it, if you haven't seen it, if you look at the schedule, basically everybody's changed their schedule. Players has been traded. Players has left their teams. So anything can happen. And then, of course, we come home to face McDaniel, the Chargers. Then we're home against the Buffalo Bills, and we could wrap it up. And then we go away to New England, which we have no idea what's going to be the time frame on that one. But yeah, guys, minicamp is over. It is over. Unfortunately, it is over. But at the same time, hey, now comes OTA, and then we are going to miss football for a whole entire month. they'll be out for a whole entire month, which that will help a player recover. If it's an injury, a rehab, whatever, we can hold on to and see what happens to this team. Because if you're not excited, you're not happy about it, let me tell you, I am. As a Dolphin fan, I am so excited about this team. And I'm hoping, I'm hoping that what Jeff preaches, and so does Sullivan, and remember, these guys are their first year. And I know Jeff in his mind, and so does Sullivan, hey, they don't give us a chance this first year. But you have to give credit where credit is due. What they did with this actual roster, what they did with the money cap, it's just amazing. And now what they could do with this team in 2026. If you're not excited or your expectations are not that high, I don't know what to tell you. But all I can tell you is this team could win. I don't know if you saw my earlier recording. I had Dolphins at a record, Yeah, cap is going to be awesome for 2027, Alcovale. I mean, right now they still got they had 21 million. By the time they sign all the rookies, 13 rookies, they end up with 10 million, 11 million left on the cap, whatever they left on the cap. They could save that money for next year, and they're going to have like 109, 110 million dollars in cap space, which is amazing. That's going to be that's going to be great. But I still believe Miami needs to sign an offensive lineman. Hopefully they could do that, and I'm praying they could do it. There's still players out there. Remember, after preseason, players get cut, and that's why I like to see Miami build from those players that get cut that can help this team. I think Miami's going to be good. I think Miami is. I'm really impressed with the Dolphins. I am. What I'm seeing camp wise, mini camp, OTAs. Once again, they'll back tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday, off Wednesday. I think go back Thursday, and that's it. No more football for a whole month. So I got to find out what to do for a whole month besides doing my Oreos. I'll find something to do. Any reports, anything to come out, But yeah, once again, let's look back at the trades. These trades, my comment to you, Aquavale, we saw the trades. Will this player give impact? I don't think Odell Beckham will give impact to the Giants. I think, he's probably going to pay that year just to retire as a Giant. I don't think AJ Brown will help. I mean, probably will help Buffalo. Not Buffalo, sorry, New England. Not the Buffaloes, New England. But I don't think it's an impact either because New England have their issues like every team does. The big impact I do see is the Ram trading for Myles Garrett. That was the biggest impact for me. Man, is my English getting bad or what? It's so funny. That's the only thing I see. That's probably the biggest. For Myles Garrett, he has a better chance winning in the Rams than winning with the Cleveland Browns. So, and by the way, talking about the Cleveland Browns, who's going to be their starting quarterback? Yeah, that's what I believe. I believe Odell Beckham's there to retire as a Giant, call it a career, and Garrett just to get a ring with the Rams. I totally agree. Well, if that's the case, I'll be your backup then. I'll be your backup quarterback. That's for sure. So that is funny. That is funny. Carlos laughing too. Listen, we just don't know what's going to happen to the Cleveland Browns. There's a lot of pressure in the NFL this year. You got Harbaugh with the Giants. everybody thinks the Giants are not that as good as. I mean, I still believe it's an Eagle division. It's the Philadelphia Eagle division, but they lost a lot of players. But the Giants, I mean, Harbaugh has a pressure on him. He has to win from the get-go, from the beginning. At least take this team close to a playoff, a divisional rivalry win. I mean, the pressure's on. I mean, look at Grable. Grable went into New England. And, yeah, I mean, for me, I don't think he felt no pressure. Yeah, the long list of quarterback. Because now I heard there was a controversial between the quarterback. I don't know if it's true or not. Sometimes you can't hear the media. Well, both numbers, number 8, the guy from the Ram, Jarrett, and the other guy that had what's the quarterback, the Spanish kid from Cleveland. Also, he's number 8. So now both players have a traditional thing with number 8, and now nobody wants to switch their numbers, which is crazy. But that's ridiculous. Imagine that for real. So, but let's see what happens, man. There's so many things that could happen. I mean, football is going to be interesting in 2026. Teams that we have said that they were not good enough, I think they'll be better enough this year. I think the Ravens with a new head coach, Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers back. Don't ask me why Aaron Rodgers back, but he's back. He should retire by now. I just hope the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line can block him, can protect him. Not block him, but protect him. Because if he's not, he's in for a long season. I think he should be there for a mentor, teaching these quarterbacks and moving on for his career. But who knows? He has a passion. He loves what he's doing. Hey, what can I tell you? That's football, right? That's what they like. They love doing. So, but listen, I think our Dolphins is going to have a good season. My prediction, I don't know if you heard it already. You saw my video. I had 3 predictions. I had Miami 5-12, 7-10, or 10-7. Those were my 3 predictions for a reason, right? For injuries. But I think the way we're going to see this year is evaluate this team game by game. I know on paper, we all said, well, the first game they should win it. I think with Kirk Cousins starting, I don't think the rookie is starting in Las Vegas. I don't think he's starting. I think it'll be Kirk Cousins. I'm not saying that he could, because he's doing good on camp. But once again, that's one thing the Raiders, I could say a Raider issue right now, a Raider issue. If you want to start the rookie, if you want to do it from the get-go, that's fine. I mean, Kirk Cousins will help a lot, really. I like Kirk Cousins. I wish he was a Dolphins, to be honest with you. Despite, you could say he has his bad days in Atlanta, but still, offensive line. You have an offensive line, a good running back. You could go a long ways. I don't know why people judge because they think he's not as good as he is, but I think he is good. Good enough to Kirk Cousins is good enough to give you 6-7 wins in the NFL. That's how good he is. So, but now let's see. He's in Vegas, training with a Cuban guy. That's what I call him, the Cuban quarterback. So, but listen, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, be sure you hit the like button, the thumbs up as you come in, and your comments. Like I said, I was on vacation, came back, and I'm doing this video with the Miami Dolphins. I was so behind all mini camps, but I just recovered all 3 mini camps. The mini camps was the beginning struggle for Malik Willis. Same thing as OTAs. He struggled in OTAs. But remember, these are player versus player, team versus team, no pads, 3-on-3, things like that. And now when you go 11-11 in mini camp, it gets a little more, but of course, no pads either. It gets more interesting. You see the long pass, the running. But once again, when the pads are on, and that's when they're going to go to OTAs, and then they'll finally put the pads on against the Giants and the Commanders. We'll see what we really have, and it's only practice. Practice is something that helps to develop a player. That's all it does. Mistakes are going to happen because that's part of the football. You're going to make mistakes. And part of sports anyhow, not only football. So, but that's all I have to say, man. As a Dolphin fan, I have high expectation for this team. I think Jeff Hafley are going to surprise a lot of Dolphin fans. Many of us might be upset because of the record. We're going to see the good and bad and the ugly, if you want to say that, because that's part of sports, once again. But there's something positive coming out of this, whether you believe it or not. I think Jeff has a goal set for this team. And like Aquaville just said, 2027, maybe 2028, right? So what I don't want, guys, let's be honest. I don't want to buy a championship. And when I want to buy a championship, I don't want to put big name players in my team just to win championship, because that's what we did with Tyreek Hill. We got Waddle through the draft. I love Gesicki. We let Gesicki go. Okay. We were building with these players and we still let them go. All right. And then we get Ramsey. Get traded, comes to Miami. Don't give me big name players anymore. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're an impact. They're an impact for a team. I know they can help a team, but I don't want that as a fan. Maybe you disagree with me. It's nice to have a Myles Garrett. Nice, yes, okay. That's just one player. I want a complete team. 11 on offense, 11 on defense. I want a true 53-man roster that we can build in and make this team what they need to be. Don Shula back then, and I'm going to quote Don Shula for a second. One of the best coaches in the NFL, by the way. He knew the players, the whole entire roster. He knew who he could take out, who he could put in situation that needed a sack, that needed a fumble. Yeah, things happen in the NFL, but this man was a genius. So if you look at Jeff, now I'm not saying Jeff is Don Shula, but Jeff is looking at every player of every position for the Miami Dolphins, believe it or not, and just checking on them to say, hey, this guy covers this guy. This guy could cover this guy. I need this guy to come in and give me a sack. I need to pressure the quarterback. He's putting all these players that he has in his roster, and he's going to get the best of them. And those that don't make it, unfortunately, they're not going to make it with the Miami Dolphins. That's why it's all by saying we've signed this player for 1 year. There's a reason why we signed him for 1 year. That doesn't mean they're going to be there a year. They could be cut. They could be cut in this roster. But it's going to be a challenge for each player in this roster. It's like Sally said, and so does Jeff. Nobody's job is safe with the Miami Dolphins. So think about it. And that is so true, man. I'm checking my scoreboard here. And by the way, the Knicks are up 2-0 to the Spurs. I didn't see that coming. I mean, I believe the Spurs should have been up 2-0. They blew a 13-point game in the first game, and then they were tied 104, I think it was, and he threw a pass and they hit the guy back, and that's what happened. And then Bronson once again wins the game. Bronson's the one who's having a MVP right now. So now they go back, I think, to New York now for Game 3, and hopefully they could upset there. And then if you like hockey, my son team, Carolina Hurricanes, man, blew a first game too, win the second game close one, and last night it was a thriller, double overtime. Vegas won, so they're up 2-1. So exciting sports now, man, coming up. You know, the season is here, man. The season is here. The only thing I'm going to miss, like I tell you guys, is that 1 month of football. But I'll find something to do because we got baseball. We have the Orioles also for Oriole fans. A team that was exactly in last place, 13 games behind. They're now 8 games behind. They lost again today, but listen, their pitching is better. Their clutch hitting is better. But there's things missing with the Orioles, believe it or not. Like every other team in baseball. I mean, they need to get at least they have to get another starting pitcher and another hitter. Now, are we going to be trading these players? I hope not. I pray to not. We don't trade these players. So let's look at this for a second. Let me see if I have it here with me. I bought something up very interesting, guys. Man, we're talking about how many coaches has been here with the Dolphins. And guys, it is amazing how many Dolphins coaches has been here. And let me see if I can find my list here. Because I say, wow, my gosh. Don Shula, of course, we know he's the biggest head coach that we ever had, you know, so. Let me see if I find this. It was interesting when I was reading this today. So. Let me see if I find this. Okay. Here we go. I did have this, guys. This is going to be interesting what I'm going to tell you guys. All right. Coaches of the Dolphins have since 2016, of course, Adam Gase, Brian Flores, Mike McDaniel. Overall, man, I'm going to bring this up, and it's kind of hard to say this, but of course, we started in 1966 with George, the new first head coach. Don Shula playoff wins, 19 playoff wins. Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowl wins for Don Shula. 1972, 1973, back-to-back years. Okay. Jimmy Johnson, 1996, 1999. Playoff win, 2. He has 1 Super Bowl, of course. That's with the Dallas Cowboys. Tony Sperano, 2008, 2011. Playoff win, 1 playoff win. Playoff appearance was 2008. Then there's the coach that I tell you, we fired this coach with a winning percentage. But once again, here we go. Dave Wannstedt, 2000 to 2004. Playoff win, just 1. But he was a winning coach. So these are the scenarios of the Dolphins' playoff wins and Super Bowl appearance. I'm telling you, Jeff and Sullivan has a task to do with this team. The big picture of expectation is the new head coach Jeff Hafley. New GM, Jeff Eric Sullivan. This is what we got. Massive roster turnaround, quarterback, wide receiver, defensive, all shake-up. They're thinking it's about a year of rebuild. It's a possibility. What are the changes? Boy, they're really, and why the expectation dropped, right? So we move on from Tua Tagovailoa. We released Tyreek Hill. We traded Jalen Waddle and Bradley Chubbs. And then we start our new quarterback with Malik Willis. What is our strength? Let's be honest. We could say this every time. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Fins up, buddy. Our biggest strength really is Devon Achane. Devon Achane was one of our most productive player last year. Okay. Now, we're thin in wide receivers. We pick up good, decent receivers. Question at quarterback? Yeah, because Malik Willis hasn't played a full season. Neither is Quinn Ewers, but you got to give him a chance, an opportunity. So I believe they're going to do well. I think they're going to show up this year. I think that we're going to be, very impressed with this team. Okay, defense lack of proven high in talent. Roster holes, wide receiver, defensive back, pass rush, and that's where I'm coming from, the pass rush. I believe what Jeff Hafley is going to do with this team this year, believe it or not, with the roster that he has, and we still got money in the cap space. Remember that. We could still sign a couple of free agents. I'd rather have an offensive tackle, like I told you guys. I want to build the offensive tackle. But we are going to be good enough to surprise a lot of people. A lot of fans, actually. A lot of fans, Dolphin fans, in 2026. I know the word we don't want to hear is rebuilt. I don't think they're going to rebuild. I think they're going to be ready for this season. I really do. I believe they're going to they're going to do an impact right away. Believe it or not. Yes. I do believe that too. I believe their our offensive line, with the talent that we have, Jonah's second year, okay? I believe Proctor will have an impact right away. I think Proctor will have a major impact. One key thing about the Miami Dolphins in 2026, I've been saying from day one, guys, is run the ball. You run the ball with Achane. Of course, if he gets healthy with his shoulder, we have not little major injuries in camp, but we have injured players. I hope that Sully will build this team, okay? And I'm talking about Sully, not have Jeff Hafley, because he said it. This is not the Green Bay Packers, right? It's not. But I think with offensive line, with Patrick Paul, with Sully, Brewer, man, if Austin Jackson just could get healthy, man. I know he's not the biggest thing here, but my gosh, running the ball, eating the clock out, it's, defense are going to have trouble with the Miami Dolphins offensive line. By the way, if you guys didn't heard this, I said this earlier. They are bringing the tush push to Miami. Now, that was said. Is it true? I don't know. It sounds funny, but yeah, I believe it. I believe the O-line is going to get better. I think they're going to be tested the first 3 games of the season. I was looking at their schedule here, and why not? There's 3 games coming up. Even the 4th game with the I'm not worried about the Bengals, but Raiders defensive line, San Francisco defensive line, even Kansas City defensive line. It's a good test in Minnesota defensive line against the Dolphins offensive line. I think that's going to be a plus. I think that's going to be something that we're going to see how good our offensive line is. And I think we're good enough. I think you give Willis, because I'm going to tell you, Malik Willis and Quinn Ewers, they had a great mini camp, all right? And according to Jeff Hafley, he's saying that, right? That's what he said, quote unquote. Quinn Ewers having a better camp than Malik. That's a good thing. Remember, these guys are not with any pads on. This is just mini camp. And don't forget, next week, starting tomorrow, Dolphin will only have, show you here, because the camp is over. Mini camp is over. And this is what they got left. OTA schedule for June, Monday and Tuesday. And then they're off Wednesday, Thursday, and then they'll be gone for a complete month. We have no month of football. Just to give you guys a heads up, if you guys joining the channel right now. But I believe they're gonna be good, guys. I believe they're gonna be competitive. I believe they're gonna shock the world, man. I'll leave it to that. I'm gonna be straight honest with you guys. I think Miami's gonna shock the NFL this year. You know, the only thing is stay healthy, execute, and that's going to be another thing, execution, right, on the offensive line. I like the 2-minute drill. I like that happened in minicamp a while back. Both quarterbacks did well in 2-minute drill. Our issue right now it is on the defensive side of Miami when it comes stopping the run. But of course, we have great running backs. I mean, how can I tell you that? I mean, if you can't stop these running backs, you know, Ali Gordon, Wright, Achane, you're in for a long day, man. And that's how I feel. But at least if you guys want to add a comment, what are you guys thinking? What are you guys looking at a record for the Miami Dolphins? I mean, it's early. I did predict in my record. I gave the Dolphins, 5 wins, 12 losses. I got 3 predictions, 7-10, or even 10-7. Because I don't know, man. I see something good coming out in 2026. And let's look at the schedule for a second again. That's why I say it doesn't surprise me that the Dolphins could win a bunch of these games. Just surprising. All right, I'm back here. I mean, just think about it. What this team could do in 2026. I mean, what is your expectation as a fan? What are you looking as a fan? That's a question I ask my fan base here. I mean, really, because it's wide open. I wish I could have a live stream here, and I'm working on that too. What do you really see coming up for the Miami Dolphins in 2026? I know that we're so concerned on the defensive side. We're so concerned how young this team is. And this is a mix of young and veteran talent, here. So what are you looking at? What are your expectations? And I like what FL Span said about our D-line should be good by year end, and which I believe that. The more experience you get there, the more better you get. But what are your expectations as a Dolphin fan? What are you looking at? And I'll leave it open for you guys if you guys want to say something, if you guys still here. What is your expectation? Do you believe this team will win 5 games? 7 games? 10 games? I mean, I love how already, some sports podcasters and sports channel has Miami as one of the worst team. And I believe they don't have a worse team. I believe they have a good team. I believe they are better than a lot of teams out there, believe it or not. It's just going to take Jeff develop these players, and I think that's what he's doing. He's taking it day by day to develop this player. He wants a physical team. He wants a team that could play both faces of the side of the ball, defense and offense, because that's what he wants. Now that we're going to be perfect on each side, no, it's not going to be perfect on each side. But hey, that's what he wants. He's building something good. Unfortunately, we had Dolphin fans telling me, "Hey, man, we're in for a long season." Well, maybe not. Maybe we're not in for a long season. Maybe we are going to surprise somebody this season. Let me see if I could turn on the light a little bit more. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I do have shorts. I do so many things, guy. I do shorts. I do videos. I do baseball, football, hockey, basketball. I try to do it as much as I can. I try to focus on the Miami Dolphins. I really do. But sports, it's busy right now. NBA. Let's be honest. NBA. Knicks up 2-0. It should have been Spurs 2-0, but it's not that way. We have Vegas hockey up 2-1 over the Carolina Hurricanes, which is my son's team. I'm a Florida Panther, by the way. I'm a Florida guy, except not in basketball or in baseball, but that's okay. I don't say that in any bad way, by the way. So, but listen, it's an open chat. Any comments you guys want to say about your team? I know the expectation for the Miami Dolphins are high in 2026. They're really high, guys, believe it or not. These players can wait to hit the field, and we'll see the talent we have, and we'll see what Jeff has for us out there. And I believe Jeff has something, not only to prove himself. Remember, first-year head coach. All right? He has never head coach. He's a good defensive coach. And one thing about the Miami Dolphin defense in practice, and I'm talking about OTAs and mini camps, they're playing hard. They're executing what he wants to execute. Now, once again, they're not wearing pads. But wait till they hit practice against the Giants and then against the Commanders. And then, of course, we got preseason, and let's see what happens. All I say, you got to stay positive. If you're not a positive person, I don't know. I am. I believe. We needed a change. We got a change, right? So now we have now new GM, new coach. Okay, something good's gonna come out of this, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button as you guys come in too, man. I appreciate the like button and the thumbs up also. So it's very appreciated what you guys do. I've been doing this for now 3 years now. I started 2 years ago, so it's come up little by little. And good thing about me, and if you guys don't know me, I try to remain positive as much as I can, especially on sports, guys, because it's very important to be positive. There's good things and bad things in sports, right? That we see it. Somebody blowing an assignment, somebody not following instructions or not following. See, the good thing about this coach, the difference about this coach is, I think he's well respected. I think the players has come into camp with a mindset that, I feel good to become a Dolphin. I feel good to come to work every day. And I think what he's building, the chemistry that he's building with these players. And let's be honest, from day one, when they told him, hey, we're not gonna give you job security until you earn your job security. So that's one thing that I would like to see for this team. That now every player has an accountability for the Miami Dolphins. If you want to win, you got to show that you want to win. That's probably one of the hardest thing in sports, right? It's winning. It's executing. And by him executing the 2-minute drill in minicamp, if you look at it, Jeff is hitting all the right buttons for this team, right? Now it's up to the players to perform what he has given you in this camp. Unfortunately, once again, if you don't execute, you will not be in this camp. You will not be in this team, period. Once again, I want to thank Pete Stake to join in, and also I think it's FL Spam also joining in on the chat today, and Alco Vale and Grizzly who came in also. If you guys have a channel, check their channels. Listen, I just can't wait for the 2026. I just can't wait for the preseason. I want to see what we have. I really want to see what kind of product Jeff has for us in 2026. We have talent. We have great players. You know, they're talking about that linebacker. What I think he's slash quarterback linebacker or Gonzalez. Who knows? Another Zach Thomas, middle linebacker, Hall of Famer. Who knows? Yeah, I believe that, Alcoveo. I believe that that's something that we're gonna see. I believe the players really want to play for Jeff. I mean, that's the way I see it. I mean, I'm looking at this camp and there's players and when he rallies these players together, and especially when you see videos, you'll be surprised when you look at the videos when he tells the players, you got to get better in this. I mean, this is just one training section, but you got to get better at it. You got to execute. And if we execute on third down, if we can execute on big long passes, if we can execute a 2-minute drill, we got a shot at anything right now in the NFL. To be honest with you, you know, because you're gonna play offense, upper offensive, teams that have big offensive like the Bengals, okay, and you're gonna have to, and look at the schedule, you know, and you're gonna have to compete and say, hey, I gotta match these guys, and that's what they have to do. Now, could it be done? Who knows? I mean, but the competition is there, especially for each individual players. You know, you can't say none of these players, their contract is totally agree with. It's not agree with. It's that you play it, you show me, and you got one. You know, that's how I feel. How it is. It's like a job. Like a job is not secure. You come to a job and you work 40 hours a week, but your job is not secured. Why? Because if you don't execute in your job, why you should have a job? Here's a good thing about Jeff. Jeff is a man of opportunities, and I've seen that. He gives these players opportunity. Okay, because they're human, right? At the end of the day, they could make a mistake. But I believe if you make plenty mistake, you're not going to be in this roster. And that's what he's been preaching since he got here. And of course, Sullivan is doing his job. You know, Eric Sullivan, what he's doing is, hey, whatever you need, I will supply you with. But here's what I give you with this roster. Let me see what you could do with it. It's so hard that you have this might sound funny. You might have an entire recipe, but you don't have all the ingredients. See, that's who the Miami Dolphins is right now, right? They have the recipe, but they don't have all the ingredients. That makes sense. Sometimes, you know, people don't understand that. To make the best recipe, you got to have the best ingredients. And I think Miami, that's where they're getting to. Jeff know what he has. Jeff know this roster. Now is building it and put the best product on the field. Now, that's always going to happen, the best product on the field? No, it's not going to happen, the best product on the field. Okay? But that's why executing is one of the biggest things in the NFL, guys. It doesn't have to be perfect. But if you could execute, you could go a long ways. I believe, as a fan base, right? Talking to the fans out there, if you guys out there are still watching, if you're not excited about the 2026 Dolphins, what can I tell you? Okay. Why do I say that? All right. This is something you say, wow, this is all new to us. Now, let's be honest. What do we do as fans, right? And as sports podcaster, we get excited. We get so pumped up. We start losing. We look at the product, and then our same words comes out of our mouth. Here we go again. Listen, you gotta give Jeff and Sullivan, Eric Sullivan, time, and time will tell how good we get. ¿Cómo está, hermano? Buenos días. ¿Cómo está? So I believe the Miami Dolphins, and I'm gonna say here, and call me if I'm wrong, they will shock the 2026 season. There'll be some shocking stuff in 2026. There's something good about it. There's something good with this team. I really believe. That's why I'm so excited. I don't know if it's the coach, if it's the GM, but there's something good about this team. And if you don't see it, you let me know why you don't see it. Now, if you're saying that my expectation is so high on this team because they pick up Malik Willis, no. Malik Willis is not, it's not the answer. If you thought it was the answer because Tua had a terrible season. Okay. You might say Quinn Ewers is not the answer. Well, maybe he's not the answer. Okay. But something's good because if they pick up these players and they sign these players, it's because they know what kind of roster they have. They know what they're building with this roster. He said it. This is not the Green Bay Packers roster, guys. Okay? Because I made a joke a while back. I said the Miami Dolphins, I put the Miami Packers, which I was just joking with that. But there's a reason why this owner, okay, and that we had to give credit to Troy Aikman. That's a guy we haven't talked about. It was Troy Aikman who made that decision to get this guy in Miami. It was a good choice, right? That we know of so far right now. Now, we can't say that because the season hasn't started. We haven't made the prediction because nothing has started. We haven't even played the first game in the NFL. But there was something good about picking these guys. And then he picked up his head coach from Green Bay. So something's good coming out. Now does the Miami Dolphin fan have patience for it? You got to have patience. All right? It's not going to happen overnight, right? We know that. But there's something good with this team. Man, you got to love your team. You got to love your Dolphins. Regardless you win, lose, or draw. Yes, we all tired of losing 20 plus years of no playoff wins. But who knows? Who really knows? Something can happen to this team overnight that could change the whole thing. Let me go back to the schedule for a second because we were talking about the schedule earlier. And I know it's a brutal schedule. We're talking about it. I know it's kind of hard. But the Raiders, that's a win for me. But it's a big test for the Dolphins also. Because the first two games on the road. Then you go to San Francisco to meet Purdy. They lost a lot of players. They have injuries. See, we all do. Then we come home, opener against Patrick Mahomes, which we don't know if Patrick Mahomes will be starting as a quarterback. We just don't know that. If he's going to be healthy enough to play that week. Then we go to the Vikings. Once again, who's the quarterback? Kyler Murray. The only thing, that, like I said earlier, Flores' defense in Minnesota is pretty good. That's a test for the offensive line. Then we go home with a high-power offense, really. The Bengals. Remember what the Bengals did to us last year? With a healthy Joe Burrow. Once again, defense on that one. Execute. Then we have a bye week, which that's the one, it's too early for a bye week, but we'll take the bye week. It doesn't matter. Then we have the Jets away. That is a possible win for the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Jets are improved. Let's be honest. They are improved. I mean, I think this draft, this year draft, a lot of team has improved tremendously. So, but the Jets are going to be the Jets. Then we have the Patriots at home. So, another test for Miami. We got A.J. Brown coming out to Miami. Once again, you run the ball, man. Just execute. That's all it is. That's all I'm asking for. And I think that's what Sullivan's trying to do. Execute. Let's not, let's take it 1 week at a time. And I believe that's going to happen. Then we got another power offense, Detroit Lions. But once again, their defense is weak. They lost a lot of players. That's a possible win. Then you have the Colts away. That could be a win for the Miami Dolphins too, away. Their big test course coming back home with the Buffalo Bills, which former Miami Dolphin Bradley Chubbs will be here in Miami. So, I mean, there's so many things, guys and girls, that this team have a chance, have an opportunity. Okay, then they have the Jets at home. Then, yes, it gets tough at the end, going to Denver. And then they got the Bears at home. Then they go to Green Bay, cold weather. And that's another test for the Miami Dolphins, cold weather. Can the Dolphin wins in cold weather? That's another test that Solly, I think, is going to do for the Miami Dolphins. Hey, I'm going to prove to you guys that this team could win in the cold weather. So there's a lot of stuff to prove here for the Dolphins, guys, in 2026. I mean, if you don't have your list, I do have my list, guys. It's executing third down, time clock management. One stuff that hurt the Miami Dolphins the last, 3 years? How to control the clock, the 2-minute drill. The list goes on and on for this team. But I believe all that is going to change, to be honest with you. But tell me your comment. What do you guys believe, man? Nobody so far has answered me. What are your expectations for the Dolphins? What are your record for the Miami Dolphins? What do you see? I know it's early. I know prediction is early. I made those predictions, but not just to say it, just to put it out there. But this team, if they execute these three things, time management, 2-minute drill, probably play good defense, it could be a great year for the Miami Dolphins. A great year. Listen, if you have not subscribed to the channel, you can subscribe to the channel. Uh, hopefully, I could be more updated with the Miami Dolphins in sports. Like I say, I do have a full-time job. I want to explain it to everybody. And hopefully, I could get better. Breaking news, I do all my breaking news in shorts. Once again, I do cover the Orioles, which is my baseball team, the Florida Panthers, my hockey team, but I also carry all sports in general. Uh, when you come to talk, you could talk anything you want in my podcast. It's wide open, guys and girls. There's nothing to be ashamed of. We talk every sports here. What do I see in sports? I just try to stay positive. I don't get into the negative stuff. Now, once again, your opinion might be different than mine. That's okay. I respect that. That's what I do here. People that know me for a while doing this, and I would say that, man, just stay positive. It's not the end of the world. Remember, there's one thing. I was talking to one of my fans the other day. Actually, this happened Saturday at one of the shows. They're fans and fanatics, and nobody could understand what's the definition of fan and fanatics. Uh, remember, these are football players, and they have a life after football, and that's one thing we have to notice. Okay, yes, it's like a job, right? You got to do your job on Sundays. You got to complete your job on Sundays. You got to execute on Sundays. That's how we do our work, right? We go to work 40 hours a week. We have to do good every day in our work on a 5-day schedule. It's tough to do, right? It is. But at the same time, it's try to stay positive, man. They go home to their family. And that's what I always say at the end of the program. They always do. I mean, they're human beings. They're entitled to make mistakes like me and you. Unfortunately, you get paid these big bucks and you expect to make every play. Doesn't happen that way. That's why you have a 53-man roster. Of course, it'll be 91 by the time preseason, and they start cutting these players. They cut it down to 53, and we'll take it from there. But anyhow, I want to thank everybody that joined in. Thank you so much. Listen, it's going to be a great season. Once again, great mini camp for both quarterbacks. Great mini camp for the defense. Both sides of the ball. Some injuries there that I talked about at the beginning of the program, if you weren't aware, but not major injuries. I guess Sullivan has a great program. They each work with their trainers, with their personnel to get better as the season comes along. Once again, I want to thank you guys, all the fans out there. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, time to subscribe. Be sure you hit your comments, your thumbs up. Trust me, I will comment everything that you send out there. I'll send you a comment. Check out Everybody's Sports channel too, guys. They're a great channel. Achane also does the Miami Dolphins, even though he has a gaming channel. Just support everybody, one another in this sports channel. Thank you so much. You guys have a blessed day. And once again, fins up.